A lot of twists and turns. Where do things stand now?
Yeah, there's so much to unfold here because, of course, we've had those preliminary injunctions against the Trump bans enforced by separate district court judges on the TikTok case. Carl Nichols there, who ruled that perhaps Donald Trump overstepped his authority under the Emergency Powers Act and did not necessarily find, while the U.S. supplied a lot of evidence that China is a threat to national security, he did not necessarily see enough evidence that TikTok, the app itself, was a national security threat. In parallel, of course, we had another San Francisco district court judge, of course, upholding that, or preliminary injunction, ruling in favor of the defendants there against the Trump ban on similar grounds. So the Trump administration, by the way, has appealed now both of those preliminary injunctions. So both of those cases for WeChat as well as TikTok still have more legal procedures to go. Now, it's interesting because it comes at a time when I reported in the same seat here yesterday that the Trump administration is perhaps mulling similar type restrictions on the payment systems, payment platforms from China. Ant Financial, Alipay, of course, is the crown jewel there, and also WeChat Pay from Tencent. And that comes at a critical time as well because we're coming up to the election and Donald Trump wants to show within the next 4 weeks that he's being tough on China. But it's also coming up ahead of this Ant IPO, this $35 billion IPO in Hong Kong and in Shanghai. And U.S. investors are concerned, Hong Kong investors are concerned, because keep in mind, the Hong Kong IPO, the $17.5 billion tranche of that, split in half between Shanghai and Hong Kong, has not been approved by regulators yet. And the clock is ticking. If they want to get approval and get this IPO done this month, as some have been saying, before all the turmoil and potential volatility of the election and this possible restrictions coming down the pike from the Trump administration, that clock is ticking on regulators here in Hong Kong to approve that IPO or not, perhaps. And again, the big question for the Trump administration is what process will they go through? Will they go down the same road as they took with WeChat and TikTok in trying to ban these Alipay and WeChat Pay? They might, sources say, because those cases were argued on the grounds of free speech, whereas Alipay and WeChat Pay wouldn't necessarily apply in the free speech realm. It's complicated, I know, so we'll have to see. These next 4 weeks will be very interesting.